It's a build that he's going for.
Only 1 point.
I
chance.
hate
it has lots of cooldown.
I absolutely hate the one sandstorm build.
I think the build is okay, but you can't do it against Rubik. You can get a little bit greedy against like other you get stats, you know, but you cannot have 1 point sandstorm against Rubik. That just doesn't work.
So what do you think that IG needs to do better in order to win next game? Do they just straight up ban Tree and try and outplay them at the game that they were trying to do, or?
I think they could have still won that game. I don't feel like Na'Vi just won because they got Tree. It's like you were talking about. It's because IG didn't seem to understand how to play against Tree. The Orb of Venom, worthless against the Tree. You're not going to harass OD out of lane. Could have focused more on farming. I think just could have played safer. Like 430 was so intent on contesting Funnick when he's pulling the creeps. Don't be. Just farm in the lane. You're farming a semi-carry in exchange for a Darkseer. And you're shutting down Havost in the tri-lane. If they were just a little more patient and kind of relaxed and just farmed and tried to win that way, I think IG were actually going to come out on top because the Weaver was winning. He was winning on CS until he gave up kills. 430 was winning that lane, and then the tri-lane they were winning there. Yes, they were losing mid a bit. Dendy was out farming Joe pretty damn heavily, but it's a lone druid. Once he gets access to Entangle, once he hits level 6 and he's in Big Bear form, it's a lot harder to kill him, and he can try to bully the OD a bit more and get more aggressive then.
So just better Dota IQ.
And just a little bit more patient, I think. It seemed like they were really raring to go. Like too jumpy.
What if they were? What if? Do you think, for example, because when you have Tree, of course the lanes are going to be easy to use. So I would suggest banning Wisp and Tree just to remove that from the equation. But because Na'Vi has this playstyle that when they got what they wanted, they started grouping as a 5. They got the mid towers and they got the bottom towers. It's very intelligent, I think, to leave the top towers for last because they have little to no significance in terms of map awareness. If you get to kill the 2 towers from mid and bottom, you can control the Roshan Pit. It's just not as important to take those first 2 towers from Radiant, which pretty much all they give you is access to the secret shop. But what if, given that Na'Vi is playing as this 5-man Dota, IG would experiment and say, let's go with the split push kind of lineup? Do you think IG can?
They had a split push lineup.
Well, no, they didn't play like an split push.
That's it. They have to play their lineup. They had this split push lineup. Well, I'm so freaking angry with IG right now.
It's okay, Lumi.
It's going to be fine.
Did you bet on them, Lumi?
No.
His prayers. All right, guys. Thank you all for joining us. It is a best of 3. IG now trails Na'Vi 1-0 in that best of 3. I'm LD. He's Lumi. They're Bruno Merlini. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll be live with Game 2. And stay tuned for that. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's time for game number 2 of IG versus Navi. No, this is not the International 3.
It better not be.
But it well could be.
These better not be, the way that some of these teams are playing.
I'm LD, he's Lumi, and he is very ticked off right now.
Damn. All right, let's get in a draft. Navi is going to be picking up Alchemist and Lifestealer. That's a lot of HP to go through. Me on Victus Gaming, going for Visage and Gyrocopter. Batrider and Wisp being banned out. Tree left in the pool. I'm not sure whether Navi could fit Tree into this particular lineup or whether they need to, because they're fairly tanky to start with.
Yeah.
Well, they ban it out now. IG says none of that shenanigans.
Well, it's probably not something Navi would have picked in the first 2. So I like the fact that IG didn't freak out and say we have to ban Tree first round.
Right.
Because if you pick Tree that early, then IG can kind of game plan against it. They get something like a Gyrocopter, lots of damage instances, which they actually already have anyway. But something that just deals with living armor a bit better. So they didn't freak out, but they will remove it now. Navi have gone for a very strong dual core, Alchemist Lifestealer. It's hard to say how they're going to run this, though, because Havost normally plays both of these heroes. I don't think I've seen Navi ever run a solo mid-alch. We have seen that Puppey support alch, though, and maybe that's something they'll turn to here again in game number 2.
In either case, the lanes are going to be a little bit awkward for Navi. They generally don't tend to run offensive tri-lane. When they do, it's with the Havost, and it's generally not very effective. It seems like that's one of the definitely less practiced things that Navi have done. Or you could run an offensive tri-lane with, I guess, Funnick on the Lifestealer and have Havost solo up top. But
it's not something they definitely could. It's just not something Funnick's played a lot, so I would be a little surprised. IG will go for a Puck here. A 430 Puck also denies this to Dendi. And speaking of Dendi heroes, who's left in the pool that really stands out to you? Because they don't have his yet.
Storm Spirit with the Lifestealer is definitely it. It's going to be somewhat difficult in the laning stage against Puck. You could get easily picked off once Puck gets a Blink Dagger, but I'm not too sure whether I like Puck as a pickup here, because both these heroes, one has Rage and one is prone to get a BKB. They will farm it very quickly, and that's when your Puck really falls off as mid-game kind of specialist team fight. Once BKBs are up, Puck does nothing.
Yeah, early Orchid as well from that Storm, if he gets one, could be very potent. It really depends on the way the game develops if you want to go for that. Shadowblade Alch can punish Puck quite a bit as well, but if it's a support Alch, we most likely won't see that until much later on. So Navi now, Dendi's hero has not been selected. The Kuroki Rubik is still available. IG choosing not to ban it this time. However, that being said, I don't think there's nearly as many ridiculous spells to steal. There's no Sakuchi, there's no Burrow Strike, so even if Kuroki gets Rubik, while he often makes spectacular plays with that hero, he'll have a much more limited pool of abilities to do it from.
Yeah, also, to Faith, he had really good stuns with the birds, but gotta have better controls with the bird. To be fair, he was up against the one-shot thing that you were talking about from the OD Orbs. Hopefully he's gonna have a better time. Gyrocopter as a carry, I personally didn't think he was that good in terms of a matchup against Alchemist and Lifestealer. How do you think he matches up against now even a Storm pick here from Navi?
It's a pretty decent matchup. I really like this Storm pick. I mean, it's obvious it's the go-to pick, but this gives them also much-needed lockdown, because Puck's a hero you just want to grab and burst. And with Lifestealer Storm, you get a Basher, or you get an Orchid, or a Scythe, you can definitely bring the Puck down. As for IG, how do you think they're going to look to lane this? Is this an offensive tri-lane gyro? Are they running a safe lane gyro and then some sort of other Visage tri-lane? Like, where do they go with these picks? What do you think is their best option? It's a support alch. Is that something they can exploit? Or probably a support alch, I should say.
Well, you still don't know, because they definitely could run the offensive tri-lane. I'm not too sure, but I think their draft should reflect on two things. Navi, if they could go late enough for 3 BKBs on these 3 cores, it is absolutely impossible for these guys to win a team fight unless you pick up more physical damage. I don't think Gyrocopter alone could do it. So, if you don't want to go late, then you go for some sort of early aggression. None of these heroes are too fantastic early. I guess Gyrocopter is pretty good, Visage is decent, Puck's nice, but they're not excelling in tower pushers either. So, I'm not sure how they will take this draft. They're not pushing that well. They're not extending to the late game that powerfully because they're a hero potential. I just don't like their draft.
Well, Chen is going to be the choice for Navi. They get a classic Puppey hero here. They get a support that can find his own farm. And with this pick, now it looks like a Havost Alchemist and possibly a Funnick Lifestealer.
Yep. We've seen Funnick, or we've seen Brax on the long lane on Lifestealer, and if you play it well enough, you should be able to survive, especially against Rubik and Visage. They have decent initiation, but they don't have a ton of good harass. So, especially if you have a good style shield, if you get a quick phase boots, you win the lane solo against these two supports. So, I think that's the lane matchup that Na'Vi will definitely want to take.
And for IG, they see what Navi's doing, right? This is a greedy lineup. They're running a jungler in the Chen who isn't like the strongest laning hero. You can do a decent amount with creeps, but really you just want to farm, get an early mech, at least get 3 creeps, hit level 5, or 2 creeps, hit level 5. Get your Hand of God as fast as possible. It's a greedy lineup for Na'Vi. Make no mistake about it. How do IG look to exploit that? What can they do here to really punish it?
Beat them in lanes. You have a ton of melee heroes. Storm has a disadvantage to Puck. Gyrocopter beats most of these laners, whether it's Alchemist or Lifestealer. So I guess their only way to do it now is to snowball off their laning stage, get a ton of towers, because these guys are not too good at tower defending. I talked about IG's lack of pushing, but yeah, IG doesn't need really good pushing heroes when Na'Vi can't defend. So seems like
let's see what Bruno has to think. I'm very interested to know what was on his mind right now.
Something just pointed my attention. The last one from IG was a bounty hunter. We normally see sometimes we see Poppy playing the support alchemist, but the ban of the 3 hero makes me think that IG believes that it can be an alchemist support with a life stealer, Storm Spirit mid, Chen in the jungle, and 1 extra offlaner. Do you see that happening? Because I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking more like an offlane life stealer, a safe lane alch, a storm mid, and then your double support.
That makes more sense, but then why the bounty hunter ban?
Bounty hunter, this is a Fnatic EU strat where they put bounty, lifestealer, and storm, and it's like raining gold for the team that has all 3 because 1 track and the lifestealer bomb flies out of nowhere. It is so annoying to deal with, but at the same time, you could easily push against that because what does that lineup do in terms of defending and push? They have acid spray. I guess that's it. So yeah, it seems like Invictus Gaming says, all right, we're going to forgo our late game. We're going to go for lane control, early game dominance, and then just pick on these kind of weak melee laners. I consider Storm as a quasi melee laner because he's fairly weak.
This is a really dominant laning stage for IG. They
they
have 5 ranged heroes.
They have to win so hard though.
They can, I feel like. This is a lineup that can just crush the lanes.
I think it's going to be the. Am I on? I think it's going to be more of the support alch, actually. I don't think I've ever seen Funnick play the offlane lifestealer, and although
Neither have I.
Yeah, and although I guess Havos could do it, just think it's more into their playstyle and lineup to do so.
I guess Kuraki will play the Chen in that case because there's a Lina.
So I guess it is going to be the offlane lifestealer.
Unless it's an offlane Lina.
Could be offlane Lina.
Maybe a safe lane lifestealer here and run an aggressive tri-lane, Alch, Chen, Lina. Not the strongest by any means, but we'll have to see what Na'Vi do. I imagine they want to try and dodge this IG tri-lane though, Lumi.
Yeah, well.
Do you really want to tri-lane against a Visage, Windrunner, and Rubik?
No.
Probably not.
No, you do not.
When you think about it like that.
But again, now actually they swapped. They had Havos selecting the Lifestealer, and now they swap it back to...
Oh, yeah, he was on the Alchemist, actually.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. And Alchemist so far has got pulled a salve, and he has 500 gold in the bank.
Interesting.
What's going on? Is this offlane Alchemist? I'm not sure if that works.
Maybe rushing that Hand of Midas. Maybe Funnick wants to get greedy here. We'll have to see. We'll introduce the teams now. For Team Na'Vi, you've got Dendi on the Storm, Havost on the Lifestealer, Puppy handling the Chen, Funnick, the Alch, Na'Vi, a very aggressive squad, and last but not least, Kuroki on the Lina. And then they will be playing IG, your defending International 2 champions. They got to be rattled after game 1, Lumi.
They're
gonna fight. Havos comes in off the bat. Now wants to run. He gets lifted back. It could be a Rocket Barrage, but he pops Rage. Still dropping quickly. Now a stun being channeled by Funnick. Only clips Faith. Good spread here. Now a Shackle on Kuroki. Rocket Barrage will be channeled off the bat. Na'Vi are going to give up a first blood. It's a bit of a greedy draft here. And now they've complicated matters greatly by giving away a first blood.
That is really, really bad for Na'Vi. Like you said, they need to run greedy. They need to play safe. And the foray into the enemy jungle for IG very, very successful, and they're blocking multiple camps, or at least trying to do so. IG, the 6, or Chuan, is going to be playing the Rubik. We have YYF playing Windrunner once again. Last time Shackle was beautiful. Let's see if he can keep it up. We have Zoe playing, seems like offensive trialing Jarrah.
Oh, they're going to find Puppy as well.
Here.
Oh,
Lift him up, and right now Zoe's being blocked in by Faith, but Puppy thought he was safe. They thought the enemy team has left. And this ninja spot, IG has picked up yet another kill. Another stun goes on Faith, who's on the Visage. But they are very, very happy.
You know, Lumi, that was actually really smart because they knew that Na'Vi hadn't warded yet because they saw them all just running along the southern track here, and they had the aggressive position over here for IG. So they set a trap. The Maroon's about to spawn. Puppy's like, oh, they're out of my jungle. They're probably preparing for the tri-lane, and completely punishes it. Smart little play there by IG, and 2 kills off the bat for them. They now lead by 750 gold. 300 experience, and dare I say it, we have ourselves a series.
Maybe we'll see. Seeing the last game, I'm putting all the doubts on IG because I don't know what's going on. But critically, IG trialing is about to hit level 2. Meanwhile, back in the mid lane here, Ferrari getting completely outlaned by Dendy. Dendy got pulled, but
so did 430.
Yeah, so did him. So yeah, Ferrari shouldn't be losing this lane as hard as he did because he got the 1 extra kill advantage. Keep in mind when they got the first blood.
Yeah, I don't think I'm not sure if any of that gold went to him. Oh, obviously he got the assist gold.
Right.
But he didn't get any kill gold there, so it's not a big advantage. But Denny off the bat, off to a good start. The good news is 430's picked up his bottle. I don't think we've actually properly introduced IG. 430.
He's got a south.
Your solo mid puck towards the bottom lane. Well, Faith on the Visage, Joe on the Gyro, Chuan playing the Rubik, and last but not least, YYF on the Windrunner. I think you started to introduce them, but then we had a chaotic fight.
Well, Dendy down to about half HP. Here comes Chuan. I don't really think he could get
they can make a go.
Yeah, they lift him. They toss him back. There's no silence on Puck just yet. He's got the level 2 orb. And then they try to fight himself out of there. A couple more right clicks. Salve's going to get used. Salve's going to get canceled. But hey, that's fine.
A lane that Denny was winning now gets really hard. He doesn't have his bottle yet, actually. Only 500 gold. And if he tries to stick around for that bottle, could very well die. 430 does have an orb. It's a slow-moving projectile, so it's something Dendy could dodge. But if he gets caught by an orb, make no mistake about it, that's death for Dendy. And 430 is going to try and zone him out of the lane, denying all these creeps. Dendy is going to have to look for these last hits the hard way. He might even just have to go Fountain. No, he does have he ferries in a salve, but he delays his bottle as a result.
Yeah, both solo mid players ferried themselves a salve, so they're on equality in terms of being harassed down. But with that wave, like you said, being zoned out like that is a big boon for 430.
That's 4 CS he missed, and now...
Look at Chuan.
Oh, he's hunting this courier. He's expecting the bottle to come because it hasn't yet.
This is old school bounty hunter play, or maybe he's waiting for the zone to come against Dendy. I don't think they can make that particular tower dive. One of the often forgotten fact about Stormsphere on the mid lane is that he's got a ton of base armor. Look at that, 6 base armor. I don't think you can actually right click him down.
Yeah, this was more just about trying to snipe that courier, but no bottle forthcoming. They won't find the kill. And now Puppy will go back to jungle. He does hit level 3 minutes in, which considering he died earlier, had to make it back to the jungle the slow way, isn't too bad for him. And overall, they're running an off-lane Lifestealer. Havost is getting some farm. Funnick on the safe lane, going for more of your combat build. No points in greed, early acid spray, maxing concoction, at least for now. It's not all bad for Na'Vi. They have a pretty good mid-game ganking lineup, but make no mistake about it, these lanes are going to be very hard for them. The one lane they could have won, well, I'd say it's even now at best. 13-6 for 430. Dendy, 12-3. And then YYF on the Windrunner. Joe on the off-lane Gyro. They are just getting so much farm out of these side lanes.
Yeah, I feel like IG is not winning these lanes hard enough, and that's mostly thanks to Puppy. He's rotating and sending creeps, harassing. We saw Furbog being sent on the bot lane. And it's slowly, Na'Vi is not exactly winning these lanes, but they're actually doing quite okay. Dendy now catching back up with bottle crawling. Top lane, your off-lane Lifestealer doing quite okay.
Really aggressive here. That could be a soul assumption kill. They'll throw it out. It's close. No Grave Chill used. I think they could have gone for that with the Grave Chill, but might not have been quite in range.
I'm surprised they didn't go for it. Grave Chill does have a fairly large cast range, and that slow will be very critical. Phase speed is now up, and I think for IG, they should be pushing this lane fairly aggressively. A single Grave Chill will mean the death of Funnick.
Yeah, he can be really zoned out of lane. This also means the flat cannon shots hit a lot harder. He doesn't have his level 6 yet. He's out of regen at this point. That lane's hard for him, and Puppy's, I wouldn't say trapped, but he's in a rough spot here. Who does he help? Does he help Dendy mid? Seems like Dendy's okay, but you do want to give that Storm a powerful start, find him a kill if possible. Speaking of which, Chuan comes in mid, posts up and looks for a kill. If they got a lift there, Dendy was going to die. That would have delayed his level 6, but just barely dodges it and escapes his fate.
I think Puppy doesn't need to help anybody. The bot lane, even if he sends a creep or two into it now, it doesn't do too much. I think he should just look for his own level 6, and getting that level 6 by itself will help. But he's sending a creep on the mid lane here. They are looking for the kill, and I mean, he's seen the double damage on Ferrari. He also seen Chuan there. I'm surprised that Dendy just walked in and got lifted like that.
Yeah, they even have an observer ward. I don't think Chuan smoked for that. I think Dendy just came out a little bit too far.
Yeah, kind of a rare mistake on Dendy, who is usually very careful with that. And now that's going to give a boost of speed on Puck and possibly the next rune as well.
Speaking of smokes, Chuan now picks one up and might look to make a go. Mid lane will have a teleport in from Dendy. They've delayed his level 6. They've slowed down that snowball. And the Lifestealer farming well in the off lane, but it's not like Havost is crushing this lane. 23-4. He's not finding kills. These two heroes are the ones that you really want to have a powerful start. The Alk, if he gets shut down, he could still drop Acid Spray. His stun still hits hard no matter how much farm he has. and can catch up later with Greevil's Greed, but that was an incredibly important kill. Slowing down Dendi is essential. The good news for Na'Vi is Puppy's level 5. He's been jungling efficiently at a Wildkin. He's using the Tornado to farm creeps, and now they're going to smoke up. They'll head towards mid, but Puppy only has 1 creep, and it's only a Wildkin creep. Not the easiest gank to execute here.
Well, they have Dendi for the pull, and they will have LSA to follow up. They see Chuan right there, and he's the person they're going to make it go on. Here's a pull. Here's going to be a zip. LSA hits as well, and that should be it. A ton of nukage, and more importantly, a ton of EXP going towards the Na'Vi side for getting the first kill on the board.
Yeah, Chuan did place an Observer Ward here before going down, so he'll give 430 a bit of a better time in terms of spotting those ganks. Very even game so far, Lumi. It looked horrible for Na'Vi. They gave up 2 kills and a first blood early. Now they'll zip in mid. They want to make it go on 430, but he's going to get the silence up. Doesn't matter. It's only a level 1 silence. He goes down as well. It's 430's turn to play a little bit overconfidently in the mid lane. He had an Observer Ward, but just didn't see them coming up the lane because it is nighttime.
Yeah, underestimating the initiation range of Stormstorm. Maybe thought he was out of mana. Meanwhile, on the bot here, maybe they're making go. Funnick tossing out a stun. Again, Grave Chill and Zoe perhaps slightly out of position. They are winning the lane, they being IG, but they're not winning hard enough. And
they have 41 and 28 on this Gyrocopter. I think IG is a really strong mid-game 5-man. Na'Vi are the team that just want to farm and find pickoffs. So at some point this game, I expect we are going to see this Puck rotate off the lane and look for some kills. Maybe not quite yet, but soon. And same for that Gyro. If IG want to group, they have a pretty good lineup to try and punish Na'Vi for having 3 farmers.
yeah, for now.
But for now, they're not doing it.
I mean, I wonder when the switch is going to flip here for IG. Are they going to start pushing
Going in
towers?
bottom. They found Fate. There's a big stun from Funnick. They blow him up in a hurry.
Yep. And
Easy kill.
I like the residual nuke of both the Dragon Slave as well as the Shockwave from the Satyr. Also hit the Gyrocopter, doing a little bit of slight harass there. But here's your Chen getting level 6, so that Puck gank is not going to be as effective.
Yep, Puppy hits level 6, has access to Hand of God, as you mentioned, Lumi. And this is important when you have a Storm, because Puck can jump in, silence him. If you get a Rubik liftoff, you can guarantee the silence, and it's often enough burst to bring him down. But now with Hand of God, things get a lot trickier. Do you really want to go on that Storm? I think for IG, they just want to start abusing Ancients. Stack the Ancients, farm the neutrals as much as possible. They found Dendi at the room, but he does manage to pick up 430 for the time being. He zips forward, he goes for the kill. Silence is there. There is a coil, and he'll drop it now. Dendi's going to zip out of the coil. You're invulnerable while doing so. He doesn't take the damage from breaking it, and he escapes. So now coil on the sidelines, and that's pretty good news here for Na'Vi.
Yeah, good face by Ferrari, so that Chuan takes that overload hit.
They're gonna punish Dendi. In comes Zhou. Call down drop, but it doesn't connect. I think Dendi may fall here anyway. He zips once more.
Ooh,
they are
snipe.
They are throwing everything at him.
The haste ring gets denied here by that Wildkin, so nicely done there. LSA is gonna hit on 2 as well as a stun. Everything on top of Faith. Faith's gonna go down. Even the tornado being micro. Zoe is gonna go down as well. What micro? Kamyao. And it looks like, oh, these LSAs are absolutely beautiful. Kuroki playing out of his mind right now.
I'm not sure why 430 went back in there. He didn't have coil. He had 10 stick charges. I guess thought maybe he could make a play and chip away at the Selena, but they had to sack their losses. That was just, well, the call down missed on Dendi, so they had to chase him a lot further. And Na'Vi, quick reactions, great stun combo there, good rotations from this team. And now they lead 6-4. We're 9 minutes in. It's about an even gold game. Yeah. IG started with a first blood and a second kill. They were up 2-0, yet the gold graph is going Na'Vi's way, and the experience graph, a 2,000 experience lead in game 2 of this best of 3. Na'Vi are already leading 1-0 and looking very, very strong.
Yeah, whatever lead that IG hoped for to get a better laner as we go into a zip on the mid lane. Dendi says, silence is over, I'll pull you again. Ferrari, need to orb out. Where's the orb? Nice phase, but you cannot run away from Dendi. Meanwhile, Puppy picks up the kill. I think this is also, now seeing how the matchup plays out, perhaps the Puck needed to level up his silence a little bit more. Stun's going to fly through on the bot lane again, so just a little bit of harass.
He's just spamming these stuns. So annoying to lane against, especially as one of these squishier heroes, intelligence, agility heroes. That damage really adds up. And IG, they did make a go on the top lane, but it's the power of that offlane lifestealer. Not an easy hero to kill. Havost not dying at all this game. 0-0 and 0, and that's exactly what they needed from him. Just don't die, farm as much as you can, and force IG to spend 2 heroes to try and shut you down. They haven't really done it. He is still 49-9. He's almost your lead farmer for the entire game, but he's certainly up there for his team as the most farmed in terms of creep score. They'll go on YYF now. Huin runs out. Chuan's going to come in. He throws Kuroki straight up and down and should be able to escape. Maybe not against this phase boots lifestealer. Shackle is there. Will connect. No coil. Unfortunately, 430 blew it mid earlier. and that means Havos can run away. Familiars come through as well. Fishing for a stun. One will connect, the next as well. But where's the follow-up damage? It's just not sufficient. And now IG, they do have a slightly stronger 5-man here, especially in the early to mid game. They'll look to push, but Na'Vi, this is where you just split push, this is where you farm, and even if you give up this tower, you get a lot before giving it up.
Does Ferrari usually play Puck, or is this one of those heroes that he just kind of drafted it and he's playing it right now?
It's definitely a hero he's played quite a bit before, but
okay.
We haven't seen too much of it lately. It's just not been his game.
Yeah, the skill build's a little bit questionable against Storm. He's also, using Coil against a Storm that could zip away. It just feels like he doesn't know the matchup as well as he should, and he's giving up a couple kills because of it. He's died a couple more times because of it. And
so what would you like to see instead? Just a max silence first?
I think this is a build that maybe you want to prioritize the silence a little bit more. Maybe we get a residential Puck player, Merlini, later on and ask for his opinion. But
they're going in
Storm
again.
Zip, the silence, and now you make it out with a level 2 silence instead of a level 1. You survive that pull, that initiation from Dendi if you have high enough level of the Waning Rift.
Yeah, it seems like it definitely made the difference there. The last time he tried to do that, he got caught. So
with level 1, it doesn't work, yeah.
Yeah, level 1 is very short. But IG, for the time being, they haven't lost the tower yet, and they do have a Gyrocopter who, if he gets a BKB, will be pretty resilient in these fights. He might not be immortal. Lifestealer still does a lot of physical damage. Acid Spray, the minus armor, could potentially cause them some problems. But I think they're in a decent position right now. They just need to start taking advantage of their lineup's ability to farm the neutrals. I'd love to see some ancient stacks from IG. I'd love to see them just putting up some defensive wards and getting the 430 Blink Dagger. I don't think they're in an awful spot to sit back and farm. There's still no points of Grievel's Greed for Funnick, and Havost is going for mid-gate items. Even Dendi, oh no, they've gone in mid, but 430 barely able to escape. Once again, it's made the difference having that second point in silence, and IG, they do find a Lina kill.
Yeah, they find a Lina kill, but that was rotation of basically all of their heroes, and Puck was forced back as well. They're going to try to push off of this without call
Dendi
down.
wants to go. Maybe he'll be sent back and then zip in.
He actually can go. If Lifestealer joins in, they could probably even get a couple kills. They don't have call down on the other side. You have Hands of God. They have a ton of leeways. But for now, they're playing it patient.
They were thinking about it, but IG wisely will back off. With no 430 in the fight, you just don't want to be too aggressive. They desperately need that coil, and like you said, the call down on cooldown. Wisely, IG back off. I think they just sit back and farm. Get your BKB on your Gyrocopter, get your Blink Dagger on the Puck, and defend your towers at all costs. YYF mech coming soon for him. If you get up these strong defensive items, then you have a pretty decent 5-man. And Na'Vi, okay, counter push. Lina provides decent counter push. Alk does as well. But it's not overwhelming. The mech and they can at least take the tier 1s. I don't know about tier 2s yet, but you do that, and maybe you can start farming these ancients, setting up for Roche. IG definitely behind in game 2 of this best of 3, but by no means are they out of it yet.
Yeah, they're trying to get a tier 1 tower for themselves. Gotta be careful because the rotation is coming up from Kuroki trying to LSA these
They're really going for this. Chuan, he's thinking about a lift. He lifts Havost up. Not sure what the plan is here. They just
trying to zone and harass and get themselves a tower kill. Oh my god! Havost comes in.
And now he's going to TP out. There's no way to stop this, so instead, they're going for Kuroki. They have deployed a coil. Call down as well. It's only on one hero, but they do get the kill. And Na'Vi, they'll sack that. They didn't even use Hand of God. They decide we'd rather trade instead. They might try to punish these heroes. TPing in. They've caught YYF. The pull. The nukes. It might be enough. Test of Faith as well, but Wind running his way out. YYF tries to live. He can't. He'll go down. Now a Hand of God, and Dendi wants to find some additional kills. Beautiful troll trap. Perfect micro here so far. Zhou is low. He will fall. Dendi on the way out. 430. No coil. Will be forced to phase away. Could have been a lot worse. Meanwhile, top lane. Chuan on the run. Havost. This ghoul is a predator, and Chuan just has no way out. Not right now. He's got to keep on juking. Rain around the Rosie. It won't matter. He will go down. And that's 3 kills and a tower denied top. Bad to worse for IG.
IG's just getting outplayed.
That's it.
I think that's flat out outplayed.
Yeah, 430 getting outplayed mid. Puppy, fantastic micro. Perfect timing on the troll trap there. And then Havost, just beautiful rage timing to deny that tower. They
can't even blame lag.
Yeah, you can't.
They're both in China.
Yeah,
and Havost
not a factor.
Havost, Dendi, Puppy, Kuroki, every member of Na'Vi is just outplaying.
Na'Vi's playing really well. I also feel like IG's underperforming a bit, but Faith's going to get caught bottom lane. There's your call.